Lewis Hamilton and George Russell endured a miserable afternoon at the Brazilian Grand Prix on Sunday. Lewis Hamilton was left chuckling in his cockpit during the Brazilian Grand Prix after race engineer Peter Bonington asked him to use up his tires on his middle stint. Mercedes teammate George Russell also endured a frustrating afternoon in Interlagos. Hamilton was pushing ahead of his second pit stop of the race when Bono dialed into the team radio, telling the seven-time world champion, "Let's use the tires now." He quickly responded with a resigned chuckle, stating, "I have been for the last 5 laps, dude." Matters then went from bad to worse as Hamilton struggled to hang on in the DRS of Pierre Gasly. The 38-year-old's race had looked much more promising after the red flag restart. After a strong initial launch left him trailing second-placed Lando Norris, Hamilton was running just ahead of Fernando Alonso. However, Mercedes' inferior race pace quickly became apparent with both of their drivers dropping behind Alonso, and then Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz. While Hamilton's race was miserable, Russell's was a total disaster. After initially suggesting that the two Mercedes cars should work together and that he wouldn't attack Hamilton, the 25-year-old then began to struggle. With 16 laps of the race in the history books, Russell was asked to manage in turn 11, responding, "Do you want me to race or concede positions? With more management, I will go backwards." Russell then chased after his teammate but failed to get the move done and eventually dropped off, leaving himself vulnerable to the cars behind as Mercedes' disappointing race pace was exposed. He later returned to the radio to state his frustrations, saying, "I haven't been on the radio because I thought it was quite obvious about the pace. Just sat here, not having the tires." His race then came to an end fittingly. On lap 58, Russell was called into the pit lane to retire with Sky Sports F1 reporting that the reason was high and worsening power unit oil temperature.